Hi there everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I started teaching No Apologies about 18 years ago, and I believe the message is still relevant for our young people today. We may need to understand the new challenges they are facing today, but the principle of making wise choices when it comes to life, love, and sex are everlasting. So the question is, why teach No Apologies? Well, it is not about promoting a brand, but it is really what No Apologies represents. It is a life-changing message and an interactive and holistic approach to educating our young people to make an informed choice when it comes to their sexuality. I think we can all agree that there's an enormous problem when it comes to teenage premarital sex. The consequences that follows is permanent and long-lasting. As parents, educators, and adults, we can respond in 4 different ways. We can deny that the problem exists, which is kind of hard these days, as we hear of the countless stories of regrets from our young people. Maybe we can deny it's a problem because it's not affected our children or our young people. Or we can ignore the problem, hoping that our teenagers will grow up on this phase. Of course, the third response is if we can react to the problem. Having the wrong perception that our young people will eventually engage in premarital sex. And it's not a question of if, but a question of when they have premarital sex. Therefore, maybe our only solution is to teach them how to use contraception. And of course, the fourth response, which I believe is the most effective, is to educate our young people, empowering them with the knowledge to make informed and wise choices and decisions for their life. Because sex is such a powerful force, and the safest way to experience it is within the context of a committed marriage. The old proverb that says prevention is better than cure is of utmost importance if we hope to achieve optimum health for our young people. The common comprehensive sex education, which emphasizes on the use of contraception, is basically trying to reduce the risk that follows a decision to premarital sex. No Apologies, however, is much more than just getting youth to say no to premarital sex. It's educating them on the foundation of building healthy relationships. It's equipping them with the skills of refusing peer pressure. It's empowering them to make a choice to maintain a healthy lifestyle that is free of drugs, alcohol, and casual sex. And also to understand that their worth and value as a person and the choice to begin again, even if they have made mistakes in their life. It is about helping youth to eliminate the risks in their lives. The call to delay and abstain from sexual activity until marriage is not an archaic approach to education. It is, in fact, a much needed message. A review on holistic abstinence education has this conclusion, and it says, it is not sound public health policy to give the exact same priority to one message of condom use to teens who have not begun to be sexually active and to persons working in commercial sex. It is unlikely any limited or short program will help change any risky behaviors unless youth are given truthful information and unless they are empowered with life skills such as character education. The lessons from public health tells us 2 things when it comes to sexuality education. And the first is this, that the healthiest message for youth is one that gives youth the skills and information to avoid the risk to teen sex, not merely reduce them. This is a message that is relevant today since the majority of youth have not had sex, far fewer in fact, in the past 20 years. Therefore, we need to be more intentional with finding the best way to help youth to achieve this optimum health outcome. And the second thing is that comprehensive sex education that emphasizes on contraception overwhelmingly normalize teen sex. A message that 1 in 4 teens says makes them feel pressured to have sex. And the recent research appear to confirm this felt sexual pressure. As a society, we must normalize sexual delay and make it a realistic expectation. That's exactly what No Apologies is trying to achieve. As a character-based sexuality program that promotes abstinence from premarital sex, No Apologies is health education. It teaches that premature sexual activity is destructive towards self and others. And it poses a grave threat to young people's physical health, including teenage pregnancy and its consequences, sexually transmitted infection, and the possible long-term health consequences such as loss of fertility. While condom may reduce some physical risks of premature sexual activity, serious health risk still remains. Regardless of sexual orientation or who one's partner is, the best way for young people to avoid AIDS and other sexually transmitted infection is to refrain from sexual activity until they commit to a mutually faithful, monogamous relationship, which is marriage. And No Apologies is relationship education. Sex involves more than just the physical body. The entire multi-dimensional person is involved: mind, body, heart, and soul. Thus, the destructive effect of adolescent sexual activity include emotional hurt and the potential difficulty in future relationships. No Apologies teaches young people the meaning of love. It is more than a feeling, but a commitment which cares for the other more than self. Sex is not the same as love. In fact, waiting until marriage to have sex is a sign of true love, and it adds to a stable, mature relationship. A key component of relationship education is teaching about boundaries and refusal skills to help teens withstand peer pressure to engage in sexual activity and other high-risk behavior. And last but not least, No Apologies is character education. Sexual behaviors is determined by values rather than mere knowledge. Therefore, No Apologies educates young people about the moral dimension of sexual conduct and provides them with the skills, strategy, and strength of character to apply core ethical values of respect, responsibility, and self-control in the sexual domain. No Apologies helps develop the young person's ethical reasoning needed to recognize that having protected sex is not a responsible act. It equips the young person with media literacy, the ability to think critically about all forms of media, and filter message that portrays a wrong image of love, relationship, and sex. It teaches the meaning of chastity, which is more than not having sexual intercourse, the physical act, but it is a lifestyle which embraces purity of mind, heart, and body. The curriculum is thought-provoking and uses carefully interpreted data and ethical reasoning to guide teens towards right decisions about sex. Decision-making skills are taught so that our youth can make decisions that are congruent to their values and align with good character, even in the face of peer pressure and media influence. Most importantly, it helps young people make healthy decisions with their future in mind. With long-term goals and a vision for marriage, they have reason to save sexual intimacy for their future spouse. They are taught the reward of waiting, both immediate and for the future. And that all good things are worth waiting for. Now that we have dealt with the why and the what, we need to know the how. How can we effectively educate our youth on healthy sexuality? The foundational message of No Apologies is about communicating truth and values. The National US report, written by a group of 33 specialists and research scientists from the Commission on Children at Risk, co-sponsored by the YMCA of the USA, Dartmouth Medical School, and the Institute of American Values, as well as a recent Harvard study that spans 75 years, suggests that relationship is vital to effectively educate on truth and values. We need to approach our young people with a sincere heart and genuine care. As the saying goes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The other vital key is to know that values are taught just as well as it is taught. As educators, parents, and concerned adults, we need to model the very truth and values we wish to teach our young people. If they don't see it modeled in our lives, they will not be convinced to embrace it for themselves. We spend so much time trying to secure our youth's future by investing in a good home, or a good school, or even a good education. But the reality is, we don't even know what tomorrow holds. However, if we build out our youth with good characters, with skills to make wise decisions, and to build healthy relationships, we are empowering them to face whatever future that is before them. As Franklin D. Roosevelt said, we cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you are inspired to continue to spread the life-changing message of no apologies and helping young people to live life with no regrets.